Hi, everyone. Welcome into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm your host, Barbara Marville Kelly, and I have the delight of having the Kelly Snow back again, co-hosting with me, and brand new, but she's returned from 1 month ago, Audrey Ward.
Hi.
You did such a great job last time. You walked right in here and owned the set.
Well, thank you.
You did. And that's what tells me that you're doing down at the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce, because that's who we're honoring today. Kelly, you've been with the Chamber for how long, my dear?
7 years.
7 years. A little bit of experience. So you guys have had a chance to work together a little bit?
Oh gosh, we even did before then.
We've been working together for what, like a year and a half now?
At least, yeah.
So I bet you were delighted.
Oh, are you kidding? This was like so awesome that you got put in the position to where we get to see you all the time.
I know.
I think so too. And she's doing such a great job and really telling what's going on down there. A lot of things happening in Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And of course, you have different events coming up. You're going to be talking about a few things Audrey's going to share as well. So I'm just going to be quiet for a few and turn it over to you and share what's happening with the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And if you happen to be a business, you may just want to check these guys out because they are truly awesome down in the Pinellas County area.
We love it. Well, I'm gonna tackle the Veterans Day because that is the most current of the events we have coming up. It's the 30th annual Veterans Day, and it's put on by Curlew Hills Memorial Gardens, November 11th, which I believe is actually Veterans Day, at 9:30 in the morning. It's this Saturday, and Colonel Richard Anderson, who is a retired Marine, is going to be speaking. He's going to be our keynote speaker. Westlake Christian Middle School is going to be performing. Palm Harbor United Methodist Church Choir is going to be performing. And they're going to do the presentation of colors. And then we're going to be giving a special prize away to who we awarded, and he couldn't be there at our annual dinner that we just had. Keenan Kopak from Curlew Hills is going to be our Citizen of the Year.
Nice.
So we're pretty excited about that. I was Citizen of the Year last year, so I get to pass the trophy on to him.
I saw that.
So that's cool, right?
I know.
So we had a good time at our annual dinner.
I bet.
Was that not a great event?
It was amazing.
It was amazing, and it was such well attended. And just about everybody that won an award was there. I think we had a couple people presenters that weren't there. So I actually put their faces on sticks, on pictures of sticks, and held them up.
Love it.
So that they wouldn't feel like they missed it.
So you say it was very well attended. There has to be many reasons why it was well attended.
Well, for one thing, it was at East Lake Woodlands.
That's right.
And you're going to see why in just a few minutes from one of our attendees of My Chamber TV today.
That's right, today.
And then, of course, they do. We have such great administration of the chamber who put it on and picked all the winners, and we have actually board that puts this together, and they do a fabulous job. So
that is so exciting. And you're part of all that.
Mm-hmm. And we do hope to bring some more. We'll bring some more of the people that won like Business of the Year. I won Medium Business of the Year, by the way.
Congratulations! and you forgot your award.
I did. I had it on the table, and I was going to bring it and show it to everybody. I mean, last year I brought the trophy. The trophy for Citizen of the Year is like this big. So that was cool.
Wow.
But that was good. So we'll have different superlatives from Palm Harbor come on the show.
That's exciting. I love to hear what you guys are doing down there.
Oh, let me throw this in real quick.
Go ahead.
At the Veterans Day, Chick-fil-A is going to be there, and we're going, even though our store doesn't open, Palm Harbor Chick-fil-A doesn't open until November 30th. We are partnering with the Westfield Mall Chick-fil-A, and we're going to be giving out coupons to everybody in attendance for free food, free sandwich.
Ooh, nice.
From Chick-fil-A.
Nice. So. That's awesome. Yeah. I love Chick-fil-A. I really am partial.
I know, you do need one up here.
I know, I do. Really bad. So tell us what's going on.
Okay, so we have on November 16th, we are doing a luncheon at the Countryside Country Club, and it's going to be going from 11:30 until 1 o'clock. And that is really going to give our members an opportunity to just network and break bread with each other, so you can get to know your fellow business community members and to just build those relationships. And we always encourage each of the people who attend to bring a stack of business cards, and every single person that you see, you go up, you say hi, and you just exchange information and to build that quick friend and to just make a new contact. You never know, the next person you meet could absolutely change your life.
Absolutely.
You just never know that.
And that happens so often too because of all these different events that you guys
does.
impart to the community.
And then the following day, which will be Friday, November 17th, we are going to be doing an after-hours networking mixer at the Tarpon Turtle. My good friends, Eric and Katie Weber, they are gracious enough to be our host, and they're opening up their big Hemingway bar out back just for the chamber.
Oh,
And
nice.
yes, we're going to get the VIP treatment, and we're just going to go out there and do some networking, have a couple cocktails, and unwind for the weekend.
Very nice. And when is that?
That is Friday, November 17th at 5:30 p.m.
Oh, very good. That's right around the corner from me.
It is.
Love that place.
I do too.
So pretty.
And they've got great food over there.
I do.
They really do. And other than that, right now we've just had so many events going on. Like Kelly was just saying, we just got over having the awards dinner. I do have to talk about the violinist that I found.
Who we're using for the grand opening of Chick-fil-A.
yeah. So
He is fabulous.
Oh my.
So the violinist, his name is Cal Morris, and I have never heard a more talented individual.
We need to have him on here.
Absolutely.
We're going to have him on here.
And maybe he'll play. a little.
Yes. Next month. Let's get him here.
Yes,
Done.
let's make
Done.
it happen.
That would
And
be great.
Amazing.
yes, he is so incredible. It's out of this world. But so he was there, and I really feel like it just set the event apart, and it just made it.
very
Everyone
special.
spoke about him for days. So yeah, we had the awards dinner, and I mean, I'm just a busy lady.
That's the truth.
Well, when you say you're a busy lady, the last time you were here, that was like your first time on the show, and you stepped into these shoes and just took off running. And you shared what you did, but we have new viewers today. Tell everybody what you do. What is a typical day for Audrey?
So as the director of operations, I essentially part of the function is being an office manager and making a lot of the financial decisions and making sure that we're essentially, I've had to cut a lot of fat off of the chamber that we've had. There were just a lot of things, outgoing expenses that I just found to be ridiculous. So I'm managing those, trimming the fat, and my background is management, marketing, PR. And so I'm going through the process of rebranding the chamber, and I made a very extensive marketing analysis, a marketing plan for the chamber that I am just waiting for the last little pieces to be approved by the board, but that's going into effect, and I just truly plan on taking the chamber to the next level and to really make it a powerhouse for our community and just to be the best resource that our community has, whether it be for fellow business members or for your nonprofits or just anything that you have going on. I want for everyone to be able to utilize the chamber.
Sure. And that's what it's all about. I mean, it's not even just for the business owners, but for the community. There's so many different things that can go on in the community. And when you tune in to My Chamber TV, you get to hear it firsthand. Yeah. And I know that you must be feeling the same excitement that I do when I meet with these girls and their guests and they talk about different businesses. And your guests will share what it's about becoming a member of the chamber. It's not about just paying your membership dues, set it and forget it. It's about getting involved, isn't it?
It absolutely
It's about
is.
showing some skin in the game.
It is. It's more than just being part of the chamber. It's actually being involved in the chamber
Yeah,
and in everyone's lives.
And I'm really encouraging for our new members to, once you join, get involved, show up to all of our meetings, join a committee, and just to get involved.
Get plugged in somewhere.
Exactly. And, it's all about building a strong foundation, and from there, we're just going to be able to do incredible things.
Well, it's true, and I have attended many events.
Yes.
I can't get to all of them, okay?
She did Dancing with the Stars.
And won People's Choice, I might add, too, for charity. I wouldn't have
at
done that if
you.
it wasn't for charity. But the thing is you feel the pulse of this chamber. You will definitely feel the pulse. So you go to these networking events. they make you feel so welcome because it's like a family that all
are.
comes together, and they don't just dibble dabble. I mean, they put their whole heart and soul, their whole body in when they jump in to do different events that's going on. And that's what I love, is that dedication, that commitment, the authenticity that people put in that comes right from their heart, and you can see it
Yeah.
and feel it. And since I saw you the last time, we launched a show because of exactly what you guys do in the community, and it's called Our Village.
Right.
Our Village Show. And because I never realized that there were so many givers, more givers than takers in the communities around the Tampa Bay area. So I'm really honored to be here with you guys and host the show and talk what's coming up.
Well,
And
I love that you did expound on that, because people need to know that it's not all about taking. And that's what society looks like right now. If you watch, heaven forbid, watch too much news, but
please.
it's all, it's so negative.
I know.
But there is so much love, so much giving and connecting in our community. People just need to be exposed to it.
That's right, especially now more than ever before, whether you're in business or maybe you have already stopped your business. Maybe you might think you're retired, but wait, because we have somebody
really.
that's coming on a little bit here that's going to be talking about, he thought he was going to be retiring, but no, he's back in the saddle again, and he's a great guy. He's going to be coming up amongst a couple of other great guests in the community. And that's what I love, are the people that are willing to take their time to drive up to our studio location, come on, sit on the set with us, and play, basically. That's
right.
We have fun.
We have a good time.
We're going to take a break already. I can't believe it. Here we go again. Fast on the fast track. I want to thank you, Audrey, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As I told you before, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Stick around. We have more coming up right here on My Chamber TV. We're back.
Yay!
Already.
Hello.
This show goes by way, way too fast. So, we have been talking about the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce with great gusto and all the great energy and wonderful things that goes on. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is my co-host for how many years? Almost 4 years now?
Yes.
Almost 4 years.
Is that crazy?
I know, and Kelly's a great co-host and shares
I'm
a lot
blessed.
and is very involved in the community. And, excuse me while I get my cheat sheet card here, because I have to practice his name. Fred is back. Fred DeFelice,
There you
right?
go, yep.
Okay. So Fred was the gentleman I was talking about in the last segment who thought he was going to retire, right?
Correct.
But no.
No.
You were on with the Christian Chamber of Commerce
Right.
the last time. So what happened?
Oh, with my story, we came to Florida in 2000 from the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. So the first thing that happened to us was the shock of drinking the water here.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, so I set out to find how we could make the water better. And so through the years, with a lot of experimentation and a lot of working with different manufacturers, we come up with the best of the best today.
And so you are doing what you love, and you love what you do,
Right.
and you are a member of two chambers?
Yep, member of the Palm Harbor Chamber and the Christian Chamber of Commerce.
So tell me how the chamber has helped you.
The greatest thing about the Palm Harbor Chamber is we use each other's services always. For example, now my daughter's buying a house, so we have the Kim Adams, the realtor. She's going to be needing a mortgage, so we have the mortgager that's in the organization. And you name it, whether you need power washing done and stuff like that. But the real part about it is you get to know everyone and you have the confidence in dealing with these people because you know that they're honest and sincere.
And that makes a big difference. It's so much easier, and I noticed since I've been hosting these shows, I don't have to be concerned about who to call if I need a repair
Exactly.
person or a water person. It's like, oh, it's like right there. It just from the show or from going to an event in the community, and it does make a whole big difference rather than feel like you're out there flailing in the wind all on your own, and especially if you're somebody new moving here, right?
Exactly.
That is so great. How long have you been a member with Palm Harbor?
Now just a little less than a year.
Yeah?
But I was a member prior to that before I retired, and happy to come back. you know.
Retirement isn't all that and a bag of chips, is it?
No, I'm not into golf, I'm not into fishing. You know, the motor keeps turning and you want to keep doing things, you know?
I think your thing is people. You like to help people.
You know, I'm glad you said that because we really have something we like to give to people because they don't know the right thing, you know? I work a lot with wellness, people in the wellness and holistic wellness, and they're always preaching about toxicity. Certain toxins in your body don't leave, they keep piling up. And we're getting more toxins in our water now than ever before.
Oh, you think?
So,
I agree.
Scary, isn't
I
it?
know, I know. So tell us about your water system, the name of it, and what is it that makes it so much more different than what's out there in the marketplace?
Yeah.
Because there are a lot out there. How do we know which one to trust? What is it that, what kind of guarantee, because it was a guarantee that, tapped into my heartstrings. So
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Fred.
all right, I'll do my best. Florida, you talk to anyone, they're going to tell you a water softener. And the problem with a water softener, and I'm not trying to disparage any other businesses out here, but they use salt. Salt softeners put sodium in the water. And people start drinking this and they don't realize what damage they're doing. It does a lot of damage to the plumbing in the house, and it also does damage to the environment. So our system is so unique, it does everything that you would want from a water softener without using salt, without wasting water, without using electricity. It leaves all the good minerals in, and it protects all your plumbing in the home. So you never have a problem with scale, and you never have a problem with bacteria and things that are in the water.
Wow.
Well, when I moved
a
down
whole
here,
system.
I was appalled. I was sick for 2 weeks
Yeah.
because I drank the water. And my mother-in-law said, "Are you drinking the water here?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "Stop drinking it." And I stopped drinking the water. I thought had I crossed the border. I didn't know that when I moved to Florida that I couldn't drink the water, right? And I had my water tested, and it was and this was like 30 some years ago. And so I hear what you're saying, and to have a system that can really help with bacteria, because we know what happens when bacteria enters our systems, especially if you have a compromised immune system. But not only that, the taste of water.
Oh, the taste alone.
The taste of water. Now, you
this
just
is
brought
good.
some water, and now well, I don't know if you know, but I think most people, especially us baby boomers, are into trying to get our health back after abusing it maybe for a few years or whatever. Water is really the essence of life. It truly is. But what you've brought us today is alkaline water.
This is
Tell us
alkaline
about
water.
the alkaline.
Yep, we developed an alkaline system that goes under the kitchen sink, and that provides a separate faucet for cooking and drinking.
Okay.
And we really got involved in this to try to get rid of fluoride. So this system, in addition to taking out fluoride, takes everything else out that's bad. I have a whole list of what's in our water that you don't want to know about.
Oh,
So once it goes through our
understand.
process,
Imagine.
it now introduces all the right elements and become just like Mother Nature would.
Sure.
And now you have alkaline water.
sure. And you know, from what I understand, we want our bodies to remain alkaline. You know, you can do your homework, and for whatever it's worth, going on the internet and just look up, alkaline water. Look up and see what happens with you when you have more acid in your system, and what you can be prone to, and some of the different crazy diseases and all that's out there. And you know, not that we're saying that drinking this particular water is going to be the end-all cure-all or anything like that. But you know, the one thing is, we are supposed to be drinking between 8 and 10 glasses of water a day to help flush the toxins
right.
from our bodies. So I want it to taste good. I don't want to go like this.
Just trying to get it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it
Mo-
could be a negative result.
Most
too.
bottled water is acidic. So you're drinking water and it's doing more harm than good, you know.
Well, this tastes so refreshing, and it quenches the thirst as well. There's no funny aftertaste or anything like that.
I did
There's
notice
no
that.
smell.
It's
There's
very
nothing.
clean. It just, tastes clean. doesn't
What
it?
about the filter system? How is that?
For the whole house? Well, what's great about that, it is hardly any maintenance. Our system goes in, and you're not having to do any maintenance for about 3 years for the average family.
And then what?
Then we come out and replace the 2 filters.
Really?
Yep,
And what's the guarantee on it?
lifetime.
See, the magic words. Who gives a lifetime guarantee anymore?
No
Okay?
one, not a real one.
No, but obviously that speaks to the professionalism of your company and their credentials, because who's going to give a lifetime warranty unless they're solid with their product?
Absolutely confirmed, yeah.
Our manufacturers, everything is made in the U.S. It's all, everything is certified, third-party tested. There's a lot of stuff out there you don't want to know about, you know.
Well, you know, but I think there's more people that are wanting to become more aware, because we know what has happened to the soil. We know
Yeah.
about, taking supplements and the different things that we can do in the naturopathic arena, the alternative arena, and health is one of the biggest things, and having good water, good clean water, alkaline water. I'm thinking, we talked about this the last time. It's already been a month, and I still haven't had you come out, so we're going to make that happen this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing I would really say is that for us, it's not making a sale. It's really just doing the right thing. And I have a passion about it, and I want to offer this to people that want it. You know,
Right.
we don't have paid commissions, salespeople. My 2 sons, we do the installations, we do the whole thing.
And so you are hands-on.
Yeah.
See, that's what I
And it's
love.
family.
I know,
I
it's
love that.
family-owned business. I just
I mean, you're
think
not going to
that's
steer your kids wrong, so,
No.
you know.
I didn't know
says
that
a
the
lot.
last
I didn't
time.
know that. I didn't even realize that.
That's okay.
That's-
I'm kind of shy about things. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fabulous. Well, we have just 1 minute remaining, and all I can say to you guys is call Fred, because, you know, Fred is here to help make your life better, and isn't that what we all want? In order for us to live an optimal life, it's a matter of us taking good care of ourselves and drinking fresh, clean water, and it's affordable too, because we talk cost afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And I know we're getting ready to take a commercial break, but if you call Fred, he'll come out and do a water test and show you all the fun things that is in your water, won't you?
I will.
I don't think you'll be happy about it, but he'll show you the problems and then he'll give you the alternative to live an optimal, healthy life. I want to thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
All
This
right.
is wonderful.
We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. Gosh, this water was really good that Fred brought. I'm telling you, I wanted to say this on camera before. This water makes you want to drink
It does.
water.
It makes you want to drink
Doesn't
more. It does.
It is so fresh and so tasty, and you have to call Fred. But anyway, I could sit and talk about that and Fred and his business all day long. But we're moving on. Speaking of business, Kelly Snow is back in the saddle again as our co-host.
You're
after a good
stuck
little
with
while.
me.
I know. And then we also have, I'm going to look at your tag, Kathy Wilson.
Right.
Kathy Wilson has just taken on an opportunity over at East Lake Woodlands, which is the buzz in our community. You guys are right down the street from me at Crescent Oak. And I've been
there
over
you
to
go.
your
Perfect.
facility, and it is fabulous. So welcome on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's appreciated.
Yeah, you were just giving us a lot of talk about all the different activities recently. So tell us about what you do over there.
I'm the new private events director at East Lake Woodlands. Just been there since July and trying to just get out to the community that we're available for any and all types of events. You don't have to be a member. We would like for you to join, of course. We have some good opportunities in membership, but our facility is very well equipped to handle small and large events. So a lot of people don't realize that.
You know, that's true because you're kind of hidden over there a little
We are.
bit.
We're tucked behind the gated community
Yes,
and back in
yes.
there. It's beautiful. It's a very mature neighborhood. I think there's probably over like 4,000 homes.
Is it that
Doesn't that
in-
blow your
in that
mind?
area.
I know. That's crazy. Well, you have had many events over
Oh
there.
yeah, we utilize East Lake Woodlands quite
Right,
often, and
right.
our annual dinner was just absolutely fabulously beautiful. Everything about it, and I love the way I'm treated when I go there.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm treated like family the minute I walk in the door.
See?
They even let me, and Skip knows this one. They let me park in the driveway and keep my car there because I didn't want to move
Oh,
it.
in the front drive.
I'm like, Kathy, do I have to move my car? She's like, oh, now you're.
Now everybody's going to
Yeah,
try
everybody's
that.
gonna try to
Anybody
do
that's
that
over
now.
there, right?
Valet's around the corner. I just didn't want to go.
Well, I wonder why we would ever extend that extra little something for Kelly Snow, really.
right?
Doesn't she kind of command that?
Ask, don't I? I kind of pushed the mark on that one, but
That's fun. That's
yeah,
really
the dinner
fun.
was awesome. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people actually came. And one of the great things that, because I've just joined at East Lake and we renewed our membership. They've been a member. East Lake Woodlands has been a member for years, I imagine.
oh yes, from the beginning, as far as I know.
This is the first time I'm getting involved, through this organization, and loved the fact that at the annual awards dinner, I got the impression that everybody is family there.
oh yeah, very much so.
You're very, very well connected, and I'm looking forward to being part of that.
Yeah, and they put up with me through that through that dinner.
That's easy to do. That's easy to do. I know that.
It was funny. It was entertaining. Well, and also tell about the downstairs where it was renovated.
Well, the whole clubhouse got a refresh renovation this
so
year,
nice.
earlier this year, prior to my coming on board. But it has a new facelift, and if you haven't been in several years, you'll want to come by and at least take a look at the new property. And that's what it looks like, is a new property. We have new carpeting, new chairs, new configuration of the Compass Grill downstairs for the membership. It's really stunning. An outdoor area where they have fire pits and lounge
Yes.
furniture.
It's so
and-
fun.
Oh, that's so
It is. It's so welcoming.
nice.
It's like it makes you want to come and hang out because I want that one.
It is.
I just want to come and hang out here.
Now, and this is open to the public?
It's not open to the public, actually. I mean,
Okay.
as a private event, you can have an event
Okay,
there
that's-
without being a membership, but you're
Okay,
not.
okay.
We're not open to the public for like the restaurant. You can't just
Okay.
come in and have
Okay.
a drink or
Okay.
get something to eat unless you're escorted by a member.
Okay,
That kind
so
of
it's strictly East Lake Woodlands, the community, and the residents there.
Not the community.
Just the
you
members.
literally
Just
have
for-
to be a
just for the
member.
members.
Yeah, downstairs.
Because not everybody that lives there is a member.
Is a member.
Correct. Mhm.
Okay.
And we have a whole new pool area across the
Wow.
street, which has got a whole new splash pad area and a pavilion.
Amazing. And you know what? I have to say this because you guys are very open for members having events for others there. Like
Absolutely.
the pool, the splash pool. I know that my daughter was invited to a birthday party there, and we know we're not members and probably most of the party wasn't, but it was so accommodating for anyone that showed up. It was
That's so fabulous. And to hear they did all that renovation, I'm going to come over and go for a tour.
You have to see
Yeah,
it.
it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, it smells fresher, it looks fresher, it just feels fresher. As soon as you walk in the foyer out front, you have that lovely, driveway that's an elevated drive underneath the
Yeah.
porte cochere there. And you come in the front door and they've, painted all of the walls a nice neutral soft gray color, new furniture, new flooring and everything.
That's very
It's-
inviting. Like you say,
it's
Kelly, that's
gorgeous.
so great. What do you have coming up?
Well, we've got, a lot of opportunities for weddings. I'm in charge of doing private events. We have a lot of, private events for weddings, life celebrations, holiday parties is our big push right now, and of course, getting ready for engagement season, just around the corner.
Well, I know a friend of mine, Tony, who owns Nikki's Glitz and Glam. We've actually done fashion shows.
I know Tony.
there.
Fashion shows.
That's
we've
right,
done a lot
fashion
of-
shows.
I got my dress. I got a couple of my dresses there.
My daughters get their homecoming and prom
know.
dresses there.
That is
Nikki's is amazing.
Nikki's Glitz and Glam.
and they're members too.
Yeah.
And
they're very
she
good.
actually she just texted me right before this. It's funny. She wants me to help her be an. I'm an MC. I do MCing for her her
Okay.
fashion shows.
Okay.
But I know we did a fabulous one there that ended up with a nice brunch. So it's a perfect location, and your windows are a
Yeah.
beautiful view.
Yeah, the view of the golf courses, we have floor to ceiling windows on, I would say, 3 of the 4 sides
gonna
of
say
the
3 of the 4,
whole
right.
side. So it's a nice view no matter which room you're in. We have one room that's called the members lounge because it used to be originally where the members upstairs would come and dine on a regular basis every week, and then go out onto the nice terrace that overlooks the 18th hole of the South Course. We have 2 championship courses, which is unusual. I think us and Innisbrook, which is another member.
That's the only ones that do, right?
That have multiple courses, so we're very exclusive in that respect. And so, which means also that you can have members having play, but at the same time you can have a private golf event.
That's exciting. What's your lead time for planning events with all these amenities?
As soon as possible.
Exactly.
But we can put something together within as little time as a week,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
We just had, as a matter of fact, we just had a call yesterday. Somebody's father passed away and called us to see if we could do a life celebration event for them on Saturday. Put the wheels in motion, got in touch with everybody. Yes, we can do it. Sent the proposal over. They decided to go to another facility that was going to be closer to where the services were being held. But just to give you an idea of how quickly we can make that happen, it's pretty good.
Right, that is exciting because when you want to have something really nice, it is good to have it close by so people don't have to, really travel or whatever. But I know that community well, but not the newness that is going on over there.
I'm very excited about sharing the possibilities because I'm an outside the box thinker, totally outside the box
You fit
thinker.
right in here with us.
Yeah, Kathy and I definitely.
So I've already got plans, of how you can utilize the pool area, the new pool area, do an outside dining event over there with floating centerpieces in the pool, market lights strung over top of the water, of dining, beautiful candlelight, outside everywhere. It's just gorgeous.
We need to set some of that up and take pictures and advertise
Do a
it.
progressive dinner event to where you start in one section, one place on our property, go over to the pool for cocktails and hors d'oeuvres.
Ooh,
Come
progressive.
inside
Those
for
are
dinner and
fun.
dancing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds
I
like
like
fun.
that.
there's
Well,
all kinds
that
of
is
fun stuff.
exciting. I'm so glad to hear that. Now, have you been in this business for a while?
I have been. I've been
Yeah.
in the events and hospitality industry all my life, basically, since college.
Yeah.
But in the event side, I got hooked on it as the social coordinator for private events at Tournament Players Club at Piper Glen in Charlotte, North Carolina, which now is part of the Club Corp family, which owns East Lake Woodlands, and Countryside Country Club is one of our facilities as well, where the
Wow,
luncheon's
right.
going to be. So.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
very
great.
excited.
So you find that the chamber is obviously helping you out quite a bit.
It is, and you all were speaking to the point earlier about you have to get involved. If you're just a member on the roster, it's not going to work for you.
It's not.
That's
Just like anything, what you put in.
It is true. It is, and I've seen that. And I'm the first one to say that I never realized until I actually started doing these shows and getting involved in the community myself. But as a business owner, I mean, if you're a business owner, you've got to check out Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Go to some of these mixers, go to a lunch or a breakfast, or just go marching into the chamber and, talk to somebody over there and just find out what they can do for you and what you can do for them, because it does make a big difference.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yes, it
it
really is. So anything else you want to share
I've
before
enjoyed
we...
it so far. Just, looking forward to the opportunity to be in a part of this group and, helping out as best I can and, sharing everything with the community like you were talking about. Yeah. Giving back and getting back in there. It's hard when you get so focused and sometimes you get blinders on as to what your, task is for your job. But,
Sure.
when you meet a group of people like at the chamber that I've met so far, they're out there in the community and doing other things for other people.
And,
Joe was talking about that too.
Exactly. And that's what I love about your chamber, is you aren't afraid to step out of the box at all,
No.
in any way, shape, or form. And let's see, you've been doing the show now for almost 4 years.
Yes.
And in the beginning, Jewel came on. Jewel McKeon, if you're watching the show, Jewel.
We love you, Jewel.
We love you, and we'll always miss you, Jewel. But I love it when we can step out of the box and just do things that are maybe unscripted,
Right.
unexpected, and out of the norm, because people are looking for change for the better, change
And they don't
for
want the
good.
same old thing.
The same old is the same
No.
old, and it becomes boring after a while. And then you wonder why you lose members or you lose this or that. Keeping things fresh and current, it's just like our digital age. That's changing
it
on a
up.
daily basis, right?
right.
So yeah, staying with the times and everything, and you make sure that happens over there at Palm Harbor. We're going to take a brief little time out. If you're looking to do any kind of an event whatsoever, it seems like you can do just about anything at the East Lake
Woodlands
Country Club.
Okay.
And with Kathy Wilson, she'll be happy to step out of the box with you, I think, and make your dreams come true. So get a hold of her. And thanks for being with us here on My Chamber TV. We'll be right back with more great guests. did you just say? Seriously?
Chick-fil-A had the first chicken nuggets ever, besides the first chicken sandwich. I always thought McDonald's had chicken nuggets first. And I was at a support center in Chick-fil-A in Atlanta this last weekend, and they did the whole timeline. Not just the first chicken sandwich, but we were the first chicken nuggets.
Who knew that?
I didn't know it.
Kelly
and I've
Snow?
worked for them for almost 8 years. Hello! And I did not know that.
That is some really good and interesting trivia. Who knew?
Crazy. And you want to hear something else? This is trivia. I won't take too much of your time. Our peach milkshakes, which everybody loves, and yes, we'll have the peach milkshake when we open. The peaches come from like Austria or something, some other country. They don't even come from Georgia.
That's
Who
crazy.
figures? We're in Atlanta. That's our headquarters.
Oh my goodness.
Georgia State, the state of Georgia is the peach state, and we don't get our peaches from there. Just saying.
Go figure. Go figure. Thanks for that bit of information. But welcome back into My Chamber TV.
Hey.
We're getting all kind of information here today, but we do want to introduce our guest, Sherry Stinson, and you are an attorney, and I did not get a chance to meet with you too long to find out what your specialty is or anything and how long you've been with the chamber, so I'm going to let you tell everybody.
Okay. Well, I am a recent chamber member within the past month, and Audrey and Skip both welcomed me with open arms, so thank you to them. And I say, I used to joke that I do family law for the dead and disabled. What I really do is I give people peace of mind. And I do that. I have 3 components of my practice. The first component is estate planning. So wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare surrogates. A lot of people will come to me and they'll say, I need a will, I need a will. And first of all, what most people don't know is if you don't have a will, the state of Florida will make one for you.
Yes, they will.
And I've never met anybody who says the state of Florida has way better judgment than I do. Never.
Right.
But the other thing that I really worry about, of course, in the state of Florida, one of the cases that we're famous for is Terry Schiavo. And people don't stop to think about, do I really want a non-family member or somebody who isn't a friend making medical decisions for me if I'm in a persistent vegetative state? Do I really want somebody who isn't related to me going to the bank, doing my banking transactions for me, paying my mortgage, taking care of things that my family needs to take care of? Most people don't want to come to an attorney because they think it's too expensive. They don't want to think about it. I was talking to a gentleman a couple weeks ago, 35 years old, 2 kids, and I said to him, so what have you done to plan for your wife and for your kids? And he literally put his hands up to his ears. And I said, if you had died yesterday, or if you were in a coma because of a horrible accident yesterday, what would she do? And the proper estate planning is so important. So that's one of the things that I do. I also represent family and professional guardians. So in the state of Florida, we have a lot of elderly people. A lot of our elders have not done any sort of estate planning, and then they end up to a point where they don't know who they are, they don't know where they are.
I just dealt with that.
And they need somebody to make decisions for them. And so I help people go before the court, get official authority from the court to make those medical and the financial transactions. And then the last thing I do is I help people wind up the affairs of loved ones. So you have a family member who's died. Maybe you don't know, how am I going to get title to the house? What am I going to do with this car? What about these bank accounts that don't have any beneficiary designations on them? So that's what I do. I am a Martindale Hubbell AV rated attorney. I've been in practice for 13 years, but what that rating is a peer review rating for professionalism and ethics. You can't buy it. A lot of people don't know that AVO ratings are attorney driven. So the more you interact with your profile, the higher your rating is.
Wow.
Martindale Hubbell ratings are actual professional ratings, and judges, other attorneys are judging you based on your ability. I've been doing this for a long time, and my passion really is people. It started when I was in middle school. We had a class project for a senior in need, and the trouble was everybody backed out of the class project except for me. So I went around, my mother carted me around to all these places, getting her blankets and food and everything for the holidays, and I'll never forget the reaction of this elderly lady who was just so shocked that somebody would take the time to care for her. When I went to Emory University in Atlanta for my undergrad, so yay Atlanta! And you know, I met with a little old lady up there. I couldn't find a job after I got out of school. I had great grades, but the job market was horrible. So I went to work in a flower shop, and there was a little old lady, and I would talk with her. And I noticed one day she was feeling just really bad, and I said, "What's going on?" The AC was off in her apartment, 100 degrees, Atlanta summer. Kelly, you probably know how hot those Atlanta summers are. And the apartment complex wouldn't do anything about it. So I called the consumer advocate there. I got him to get her help that day. They put her up in a hotel, got her AC fixed. So my passion truly is giving a voice to people who don't otherwise have a voice. Or if you do have a voice, making sure that that's heard before you ever get to the point that you don't have a voice and you can't tell people what you want.
You know, I love hearing this
so
story. You know,
awesome.
isn't it funny? Everyone has a story, and their profession so many times stems from that childhood experience.
That's right.
And that was like a pivotal moment. Did you know at that time, or was it years later that you thought, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. This is my passion.
I didn't know what that looked like until I got closer to being out of college, and I took a year off to make sure that it was really what I wanted to do and that the help that I was going to be able to give was going to be effective. And so I went to the University of Florida for law school. Go Gators. And sorry, FSU fans. But I had a professor there, and he said, you know, really, he's like, if you want to help people, you want to help seniors, you know, this is what you should do, and you should go to Tampa Bay. It's a great area. So I came here. Job market again was bad when I got out of law school. I literally was going door to door to law offices trying to find a job. Here's my resume. And it took me a while to find what I wanted. Anybody can be a lawyer, you know, with the proper work. And most lawyers come out and they don't know what they're going to do. They just take the first job that they can find. And I think all lawyers help people, but you've got to have a heart for the people that you're trying to help.
Oh, yes.
Which is why I chose this particular area of law.
Well, I've got interject a little bit in here. What I was told is basically elder care law is what you're doing. Would you say that?
So elder law has a bit of a connotation to it, and that is there's a component that comes with that's called Medicaid planning.
That's
so
right.
a lot of times you'll have people who have too much money but not enough money. They're sort of in this gray area. So you may have somebody who's accumulated, say, $250,000, but the average facility in this area is anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month.
Oh, yeah.
So if you only have $200,000 or $250,000, that's not going to go too far. So there's something called Medicaid planning where you can shelter the assets so that when you do run out of money, you qualify for Medicaid, and that can step in and that can pay for the facility care. I don't do that particular area. I work closely with a lot of people who do. It is an area that you can really mess up big time if you don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And so because I have 3 different components to my practice, I'm a boutique practice, but I really want to make sure that I'm providing the highest quality legal services that I can. And once you start to get into too many areas, it becomes really hard to do that because you can't keep up with all of the changes.
Right.
So some people do need somebody who does Medicaid planning. You have other people who say, you know, I've worked, but I've never really saved a whole lot, and I don't know what's going to happen to me. It's all over the board, but people really don't think about what's going to happen to me if I start to age, when I start to age.
Oh, no, that's true. They
You know,
don't.
I've read a statistic that something like 65% of us are going to be hospitalized once we get over the age of 65. And that's a pretty scary statistic if you've done absolutely no planning and haven't thought beyond really tomorrow, which is what so many people do.
No, the age of 65.
That's
Wow.
amazing. Well, you are so needed. I can tell you that because when I went, my mother was recently diagnosed with dementia, and I was clueless. Literally, we went to a family friend who made me power of attorney and did all these things that you were explaining, and then what? You know, and we caught it right before she started forgetting everything.
Right.
It happens so fast. How many times I could slap myself, why didn't I do something sooner? Because you think, oh, they're going to get over it, or it's not going to get that bad. Because my mother was only 69 years old.
She very young. And you know what people don't know about dementia is it's a very cruel disease. Some people are can be pleasantly demented. You know, it's just, hi, how you doing? And you tell them the same thing 30 times, and you know, and it's not that they're fine, but it's manageable as a family. There are other forms of dementia, though, that it makes them really violent
And mean and-
That's what I've heard.
mean. And you know, the hard thing as a family member is to look at somebody who you know and you remember what that person is like, and you know what they're like when the disease has not taken over their body. And there's such a disconnect too, because you love the person and you want to help, but there's also the stress that comes with that, because now you're not just a child, you're a caregiver, you're worrying about somebody else's life, you're living somebody else's life.
Sure.
And if you've got kids, I mean, I'm in the sandwich generation. My mom is 74. I have a 7-year-old and an 11-month-old. And so, you know, I have definitely had those times in my life where my mom's needed some care, and, you know, I'm worrying about young kids, and we get so caught up in our day-to-day that we don't think about it. So it's so important. I also encourage people, if you have estate planning documents, review them once a year, on your birthday, when you change the batteries in the smoke detector, because this is the thing. Life changes, and we
Yes, it
forget
does.
about those documents. So deaths, marriages, you know, births of kids and grandkids, multiple marriages, that's a huge issue for blended families. People don't realize what the intestacy laws are if you die without a will. So it's so important. And I will know, correct my name, it says Sherry Wilson. I'm actually Sherry Stinson.
We will do that for you. But you know what? I think it's important. You brought up so many valid points, and there's so much going through my mind as well. What? Just one quick last little tip that you can, besides with all the reviewing and everything, one thing that could be really impactful for somebody that might be going through that with a family member today.
You know, the important thing is to figure out what your needs are. What problems are you trying to address? By the time people get to me, they're usually in crisis mode.
Right.
And so that's the importance of pre-planning. But if you are in crisis mode, I can't fix the dementia, but I can help you figure out how you're going to go forward.
Process
how
it.
you're going to get the peace of mind. I'm all about education, so come see me and I'll tell you not only what you need to do, but why you need to do it.
Yeah.
It's so important that people aren't just being told, do this, do this, do this. You really have to understand the why
Right.
behind it.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because, you know, first of all, you're already stressed out about the situation. It's very sad. It's almost a grief situation.
Yes.
Ahead of time, in
Yes.
advance. I want to thank you for coming on the show today. Thank you so much. And we're going to stick around because we have one more segment, because we are jam-packed here on My Chamber TV with great guests, and you can see why. So thank you again for
Thank
joining
you
us.
for
We'll
having
be
me.
back.
Mhm.
Okay.
We need to.
Oh, we're back. Hello. We're just there playing.
I'm Snapchatting. Thank you.
Welcome back to our fifth segment on My Chamber TV with the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. You know, very rarely do we do this unless we have so many guests that just can't wait to get in here. I was flagged down in the store today, somebody wanting to be on my show.
Yay.
And
Really?
it's so exciting. Yeah, because word's getting out. We've been here doing this almost 4 years. And for obvious reasons, because connections work in the community. So we brought Skip Alford. And Skip is the new CEO with the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. And then we have Audrey back again for this segment too, because these guys are working hands-on with everything, changing things, cutting the fat, making so many different changes, and staying with the times, right?
Absolutely. Yep, that's one of our big pushes, is to take the chamber to the next level. And we've already got a good start at doing that, but we're looking at 2018 being the best year the Greater Palm Harbor Chamber has ever had.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'll take that.
And when did you come on board?
I've been on board about 4.5 months now.
Has it been that long?
I know, crazy. This is your third My Chamber, right?
Yes.
This is your
Wow.
third My Chamber.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been probably the best 4 months of my entire chamber career so far. I love the area, I love the town. Now that I have Audrey on my team, and people like Kelly on my board, past chair of our board, business ladies like her and the men of the community they're amazing. In fact, that's going to be one of our biggest upcoming events that we have in between now and the beginning of the new year is the grand opening or the reopening of the newly renovated Chick-fil-A on 19 in Palm Harbor. And everybody in town is just looking forward to that.
Oh, I know. I am
Everybody loves
too.
chicken. Everybody loves chicken, but that's going to be one of the nicest Chick-fil-A's anywhere in Florida.
No
and,
doubt.
of course, that's Kelly's baby, and it's going to be a couple of days of just fantastic celebration for everybody.
It really
Oh,
is. It's going to be a whole week-long celebration.
I know. And the date again?
November 30th is the actual official day where we'll start serving food.
Okay.
But the Monday previous to that, we're going to have a premiere night dinner, and I'm going to invite people from the community. I think they're allowing me to invite 150 maybe. I don't know. It's going to be good. And we're going to be sampling all the food.
As long as I'm one of them.
You are. You're one of them.
Fun.
And then Tuesday during the day, we're doing what they call a VIP, and that's going to be like, Dave Eggers, our now another mayor, Frank, is mayor again. Frank Nabasi got mayor
Oh,
again.
did he really?
He did.
I'm running against him next time. But anyway, and so just, the people that are involved, like, the fire commissioners, people that are involved in all of our events that we do, they're going to be on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, we're hosting at Innisbrook, actually, is going to be where we're going to hold our team member dinner. And it's all the new employees. We're going to have 120, I think, new employees and their
Really?
families are going to be
Really?
coming to a dinner that hosted by Innisbrook. And then on Wednesday, we're having a dedication where my husband's he's a pastor, by the way, Worldwide Word of Faith Church. I never remember to put that in there, W3FC. He's going to be doing a dedication dinner with the owners, Metzger's family. And then we're going to have our first 100. And all of you that don't know about that, that's the first 100 that show up Wednesday starting at 6 a.m. You'll get numbers given to you. You camp out, and there'll be Elevate, which is the group out of Texas that come in and entertain you and do games and just keep the energy going. That's all night long, and we feed you. The next morning at 6 o'clock, you get in line, and you're the first people to walk through our new store and get free Chick-fil-A for a year.
Really?
Free Chick-fil-A
That's what
for a
you were
year.
talking about camping out.
Yes, I said I was not
I'm not
going
doing
to
the camp out.
no camping.
Corporate's doing it, so I'm not running it, but I will be there mingling. Corporate, the way Chick-fil-A's work, and his wife works with Chick-fil-A, so I'm sure they're familiar with this. It's not our store right now. Corporate has it. When on the 17th, they actually turn the keys over to us, and they run all the grand opening stuff up into the 30th, and then it's officially our store again. But it's exciting, and on Thursday,
exciting.
we're going to have a ribbon cutting.
Yay.
And I want everybody there. We're going to have the Boy Scouts raising the flag.
Neat.
We're going to have the color guard. The Girl Scouts have asked me to do something, so they still haven't told me what they're going to do. But the Chamber's going to be there doing the ribbon cutting with us, and it's just exciting, all the good stuff.
It is. It's been a while.
Yeah, 5 months. Over 5 months
Yeah.
because of Irma.
Yeah.
Irma added 3 weeks onto our,
I'm not
from the original
surprised.
date.
Not
Because
surprised
originally
at
it was
all.
supposed to be November 9th.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is going to be, so much fun.
We're excited. And I just got back from spending 3 days in Atlanta at our corporate headquarters, and we visited a store that's very parallel to ours and learned all the fun and innovative things that they're doing. So it really is. I like how you said that. It's going to impact our community. It
Yeah,
really
it will.
is.
It will. It's
pretty
I
exciting.
think Chick-fil-A is a household name. Seriously,
is.
it really is. But now it's going, as you're saying, taken to the chamber, to the next level. Same with
And,
Chick-fil-A.
and you know, when we met with corporate, I don't know how much I've shared with you, but when we had our first meeting with corporate about our new store, they asked straight up, who's important in the community? And I said, number one, the chamber has to be there. They have to be involved in everything that we do. And our owner and operators agreed. Dan and Tracy said, absolutely, because Kelly, that's your passion. That's your bloodline in the community is the chamber.
That's a good way to put that, the bloodline. And I mean, it just goes through the whole community.
does.
You can feel the pulse of the heartbeat in Palm Harbor. And when you join the chamber, it's a different feel as a business owner, and even as a resident in the community, to see the buzz. It's just really powerful. A lot of energy,
It
good
really
energy.
is. And we've got new people coming on.
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
since Kelly just brought that up, Audrey has literally recruited us 23 members in the 8 weeks she's been on board our chamber.
You go, girl.
Now, I just would like to throw that out. That's what a great job she's doing. She handles our books, but she's also spending a lot of her own time aggressively going out in the community and sharing the mission of the Chamber of Commerce. So I just wanted to give her,
It does. It
kudos
makes
there.
it.
That is so cool.
And you were talking about the activity within the community. That's why we're unique, because Palm Harbor is a community of communities. And today we had a fantastic event where we honored all of the local high schools and their students of the months, the last month and this month. And it was just fantastic to know that our Chamber of Commerce is having that type of impact on these kids.
Yes.
And eventually, we're providing some of them scholarships to help them with school, but basically just recognizing and letting the principals of the local high schools know that this Chamber of Commerce is totally behind education.
Yes.
And keeping the quality of life and the quality for our youth to have a community forever and ever that they can come back and live in and prosper.
Yeah, because they're the future.
Absolutely.
They're the future.
They're worth investing in.
And in teaching them to engage at a young age, because we've interviewed many young professionals from some of the different areas and groups in that, and I think it's heartwarming to see that these younger students that are actually embracing the chamber. I mean, before I ever started doing these shows and being involved with the chambers, I'm thinking, Chamber of Commerce, that sounds so boring. It is far from boring, let me tell you. I mean, you guys have so many wonderful things going on in the community.
really
from
do.
Social to culture to educate. I mean, the education goes through the roof, and it's just, as I always mention, when I brought my mom down here from Michigan, she went to Palm Harbor.
That's right.
Yep.
It's a place to be.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
And another thing that I wanted to add, that I actually just had a meeting with one of the professors at USF today. And so USF, their marketing department, they are actually going to be focusing their entire capstone on the Palm Harbor Chamber. And so if we were to hire a consulting company just for one person to do this analysis, it would cost tens of thousands of dollars, and we will be having 50 individual analyses on how we're going to be able to better the chamber.
That is
And they're doing all of that for free.
That
So
is
we're really, it's my goal to reach these kids as they're just graduating from college and to
Yes.
get them involved while they're young.
See, that's the way to do it.
Well, the Chamber's done internships in the past, starting high school and even into SPC and into colleges.
I just reignited the partnership with SPC. I have filled out the paperwork. Now we're just waiting on somebody to take the job.
Oh, good.
That's so
Shouldn't
great.
take long.
You just got everything all together. It all just blends. Isn't that fabulous? Anything else you want to share that might be coming up that we may have missed, or you want to go back
We've got our
and mention?
parade. I guess we could
Oh,
say our
when's
parade,
that?
December 16th.
Christmas.
Christmas parade, and I'm saying Christmas, 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 Christmas,
Christmas,
parade.
Christmas, yes.
Get over it.
That's right.
But it's, it's downtown and we have expanded it. We've gone, you were at the first meeting. We've expanded it where it's going to go all the way down to 11th in front of the Chamber of Commerce, which I kind of like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then turn and go down Florida.
how fun.
Down 11th and into Florida. So everybody come out and line the streets.
No doubt.
Yeah,
For the
it's gonna be
Christmas
fun.
parade. Very nice.
Barbara, I have one thing I want to just drop in everybody's ear. We're already beginning planning for our next year's Evening Extraordinaire. And it's going to be late September of next year, but it is going to be amazing. We're going to have probably some of the largest amounts of restaurateurs there that we've ever had. It's going to be at Innisbrook, but we're really, and I want everybody to understand this, we're really even pricing it to where anybody in the community, Palm Harbor, Crystal Beach, East Lake, even in Dunedin and in Tarpon Springs, it's going to be very affordable to bring the family out to this event and really allow everybody in our community to really get a feel for what the Chamber is doing in Palm Harbor and how much of a family atmosphere we want to continue to generate.
Oh, that's
So
good.
even though that's a long way out, I wanted everybody to know ahead of time that that's
Yeah.
something we're planning for already. It's going to be spectacular, and like I said, I want everybody in Northern Pinellas County to be able to come and have a good time that night out at Innisbrook.
That is good. And that's the other thing, is bringing the families together. You look like you're ready to chime in
Yes,
there.
and I was going to say, we are also taking sponsors now. If you would like to be a sponsor for the event, you are more than welcome to. You can give us a call, and I will get that set up for you.
Now, that was a perfect segue. Yeah, did you guys
There you go.
rehearse that? No, I'm
we
just kidding.
didn't actually.
Just comes out of her.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys so much, and I want to thank you for joining us here on My Chamber TV, featuring the Palm Harbor Chamber of Commerce. Check them out. You won't be sorry. We'll see you next time.